Come closer. The shadows have missed you, and tonight they have a new story to tell. Welcome to Scary Stories After Dark. Deadfall National Park. The radio crackled at 12:41 a.m. Not loud, not urgent, just enough to wake him. Evan lay still in the narrow bunk, listening to the wind scrape against the lookout tower like fingernails dragged over tin. Deadfall National Park slept beneath him, miles of black pine and unseen drop-offs, the forest swallowing moonlight whole. He waited for the radio to speak again. It didn't. After a long moment, he reached over and pressed the transmit button.
Tower 7 checking in,
he said. His voice sounded thinner than usual in the small room.
Dispatch.
Static answer. Thick, wet sounding. Evan frowned and sat up. The tower lamp flickered once, then steadied. His head ached, dull pressure behind the eyes like he'd climbed too fast up a mountain. He rubbed his ears and tried again.
Dispatch, do you copy?
This time, a voice slid through the static.
Copy.
It wasn't the wrong voice, it was the pause before it. Too long, as if whoever spoke had to remember how. Evan swung his legs over the side of the bunk. The radio on the desk, his backup, clicked on by itself. He froze. Both radios hissed now. One behind him, one in front.
Tower 7.
The voice said again.
Step outside.
His stomach tightened. That wasn't procedure. He stood anyway. Outside, the night pressed in close. The forest didn't move, not a branch, not a bird. Evan swept his flashlight across the tree line. The beam caught nothing until it did. Something tall shifted where no clearing should be. Not walking, not swaying, just repositioning like the forest had blinked and rearranged itself. The radio screamed. Evan stumbled backward, tripped over the threshold, and fell hard. His flashlight skidded into the dark. The screaming cut off mid-burst. Silence rushed in. By morning, Tower 7 still blinked its light. The radios were found crushed beneath the stairs. Evan's boots sat neatly by the door. The job posting went up 2 days later. Jake read the email 3 times before it sank in. "You seeing this?" he asked, phone held out between them as they sat on the hood of Sam's car. Pine sap stuck to the metal, sweet and sharp in the afternoon heat. Sam squinted at the screen. Deadfall National Park, Seasonal Fire Lookout. He snorted. "Dude, that's one position." Jake scrolled. His smile faded, then returned, brighter and more confused. "No, it says 2. Sam straightened. "What?" They leaned in together, shoulders bumping like they had 1,000 times before. Bike ramps, fishing docks, the edge of frozen lakes, best friends since childhood, same town, same bad ideas. "Originally 1, Jake said. Then another watch employee resigned. They reopened the listing. Sam grinned. "So we both got it." The words felt unreal, Months of drifting jobs, late-night gas station shifts, talking about leaving town without ever doing it. Now this, towers in the woods, real responsibility, radios and sunsets and quiet. Dude, Sam said, laughing. We're forest rangers. Watchmen, Jake corrected. Different thing, but yeah. They drove north 2 weeks later. Cell service died an hour out, the road narrowing as the forest closed in. Deadfall National Park appeared on a weathered sign, its letters faded but official. The main office sat low and wide, wood-paneled and old. A man waited on the steps, broad shoulders, gray beard, an easy smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. Jake, Sam, he said, shaking their hands. I'm Ranger Cole. Glad you boys made it. Inside, maps covered the walls. Radios hummed softly. Jake's eyes drifted to a chair near the back. A uniform shirt hung over it. Dark stains marked the fabric, rust-colored. Dried. The name tag read B-I-L-L. Jake swallowed. Someone spill something? Ranger Cole followed his gaze, then chuckled. Hold gear. Happens. Sam nudged Jake's arm. You're already spooking yourself. Jake nodded, forcing a smile. Outside, the towers waited, one trail veering east, the other west. They hugged quick and awkward, then split apart. Neither noticed the radio on the office desk click on by itself. Static whispered. The trail split without ceremony. No sign, no warning. Just two narrow paths disappearing into trees that grew too close together, their branches knitting overhead like a ceiling. Jake adjusted his pack and glanced back once more at Sam. Radio check every hour, Sam said. If I don't hear from you, I'm hiking your way. Jake smirked. You'll hear me. They turned away from each other at the same time. Jake's climb took longer than expected. The tower loomed out of the trees like a rusted skeleton, stairs spiraling upward into fog that hadn't been there moments before. By the time he reached the top, his thighs burned and his ears rang faintly, like he'd stood too close to a speaker. Inside, the tower smelled old, metal, dust, something sour beneath it. He dropped his pack and flicked on the radio.
Tower East checking in,
he said.
You there, Sam?
Static. Then,
A copy.
Jake froze. That wasn't Sam's voice.
Dispatch.
He tried. Silence stretched too long. Finally, the radio crackled again.
Signal's weak.
The voice said, flat, careful.
Adjust your antenna.
Jake swallowed and stepped outside. The antenna bent slightly beneath his hand, warm despite the cool air. As he straightened it, a gust of wind rolled through the trees below, slow, heavy, like something exhaling. Back inside, the radio popped.
Jake?
Sam's voice this time, too loud, too close.
Yeah.
Jake said quickly.
You good?
A pause.
Yeah. Just settling in.
Jake stared out the window. The trees didn't move.
Sam,
He said.
Did dispatch answer you earlier?
Another pause. Longer.
No.
Sam said.
Why would they?
Jake hesitated.
No reason.
The radio hissed softly between them. That night, Jake lay awake listening to the tower creak. At 2:17 a.m., his radio clicked on. Not loud enough to wake him. Just enough to listen. Outside, something tall shifted through the dark, its shadow sliding across the trees without touching them. Jake dreamed of footsteps circling the tower. They never stopped. Jake woke with the taste of metal in his mouth. Morning light leaked through the windows in thin gray sheets. His head throbbed, pressure settling behind his eyes like a bruise. For a moment, he couldn't remember where he was, only that something had been circling him all night. The radio sat silent on the desk.
Radio check.
He muttered, pressing the button.
Tower east to tower west.
Static bloomed, thick and slow. Then Sam's voice pushed through.
I'm here.
Jake exhaled.
You sound like crap. I didn't sleep.
Sam said.
I kept dreaming I was walking.
Jake frowned.
Walking where?
A pause.
Nowhere.
By afternoon, Jake noticed the hunger. It wasn't sharp. It was patient. A hollow pull beneath his ribs that made his hands shake as he opened a protein bar. The food tasted wrong, chalky, thin, but he ate it anyway. Outside, the trees stood motionless, as if listening. A footstep sounded on the stairs. Jake froze. No one was scheduled. No one was supposed to hike between towers without calling it in. He reached for the radio, then stopped when the door creaked open. A man stepped inside. He wore a ranger uniform, faded and too large, the fabric hanging oddly from his frame. His eyes moved slowly as if tracking something Jake couldn't see. "Hey," the man said. His smile came late. "You got any sugar?" Jake stared. "Sugar?" "For my coffee." The man glanced past him, out the window. "Radio's been acting up." Jake's skin prickled. "Which tower are you from?" The man tilted his head. Thought about it too long. "North," he said finally. There was no north tower. Jake handed him a packet anyway. "Thanks," the man said, already turning away. On his sleeve, dark stains marked the fabric. Rust-colored, dried. As the door shut, Jake realized the hunger had eased. The radio crackled.
Jake,
Sam said. His voice sounded thinner now.
someone just stopped by my tower.
Jake swallowed.
Did he ask for sugar? Yes.
Sam whispered.
How did you?
The radio hissed louder, drowning him out. Outside, something vast shifted through the trees, bending branches without touching them. Jake gripped the radio, heart pounding. The hunger returned, stronger. And this time, it wasn't for food. By the third night, the radios stopped agreeing with each other. Jake noticed it first when dispatch checked in at exactly 1:13 a.m. Not 1:12, not 1:14. The same minute as the night before.
Tower East.
The voice said.
Status.
Jake stared at the clock.
All clear.
He replied.
You already called.
Silence. Then, softly.
Negative.
The radio clicked off. Jake didn't sleep after that. He paced the tower, hunger gnawing at him in waves. Not pain. Want. His thoughts kept drifting to the trees below, to how easy it would be to climb down and walk until something answered back. At sunrise, Sam radioed in, sounding wrong. Not scared. Not calm. Just emptied.
Did you hear that last night?
Sam asked.
Hear what? The footsteps.
Sam said.
Circling. They stopped when I stood on the stairs.
Jake swallowed.
You should stay inside.
A pause.
I don't think it wants us inside anymore.
Later that day, Jake found the boots. They were tucked beside the stairs, laces neatly tied. The leather was split down one side, darkened with something dried and black. No body. No tracks leading away. He didn't report it. When the radio crackled again, it wasn't dispatch.
Jake.
A voice said. Sam's voice, but distorted, stretched thin like tape pulled too far.
Come look at this. Where are you?
Jake demanded. Another pause. Too long.
Below.
The signal cut. Jake leaned out the window. Far beneath the tower, the trees bent inward, their shadows pooling together. Something massive shifted through them, slow and deliberate. The ground answered it, deep, rhythmic impressions pressing into the earth. His radio hummed in his hand. Warm, alive. Across the park, other towers went dark. One by one, their lights blinked out, swallowed by forest. Jake pressed the transmit button, breath shaking.
Sam?
Static roared back, layered with whispers, footsteps, and something like breathing. The hunger surged, sharp and undeniable. And for the first time, Jake understood the truth Deadfall had been teaching them since the beginning. There were no towers anymore. Only hunting grounds. Jake didn't remember deciding to climb down. One moment he was in the tower, radio pressed to his palm, the hum vibrating up his arm. The next, his boots hit dirt. The forest swallowed him immediately, branches closing behind, light thinning to a dim green gloom. Every step felt guided, not forced. Invited. His radio crackled once, not static this time. Clarity so sharp it made his teeth ache.
Jake.
Sam said. His real voice. Close. Too close.
You shouldn't have stayed up there.
Jake froze.
Sam?
To his left, something moved between the trees. A silhouette peeled away from shadow. Human-shaped, but wrong in the way it held itself. Too loose, too patient. Sam stepped into view. His face looked the same. That was the worst part. Same stubble, same crooked eyebrow. But his eyes were empty in a way Jake couldn't explain, like the light behind them had been turned down. "You feel it too," Sam said. "The quiet, the clarity." Jake backed up, hand tightening around the radio. "You're not thinking straight." Sam smiled. It came easily, too easily. Neither were the others. Behind Sam, the forest shifted. Trees bent inward, groaning softly, their tops swaying though the air was still. The ground pressed down with each slow, massive step, something circling them, unseen but vast. Jake's radio flared warm again. A whisper bled through the speaker, not words, just intention, hunger sharpened, focused. Sam's gaze flicked to the radio. "It likes you," he said. "You listen." Jake shook his head. "We leave. Together." Sam's smile faded. For a second, just one, something like grief flickered across his face. "I can't," he said. "It won't let me." The forest leaned in. Branches snapped, shadows stretched. Jake's chest tightened as the realization landed, heavy and sickening. Deadfall hadn't turned them against each other. It had simply removed the parts that said don't. Sam stepped closer. Jake raised the radio like a weapon. Somewhere above them, a tower light blinked once, then went dark. The radio hit the ground first. It cracked against stone, the speaker shrieking once before dissolving into static. Jake barely noticed. His eyes were locked on Sam, on the way his friend stood too still, like the forest was holding him upright. "You don't have to do this," Jake said. His voice felt distant, like it belonged to someone else. Sam tilted his head, listening, not to Jake, but to something far above them. Far below them. Everywhere at once. "I already did," Sam said softly. The ground pulsed. Trees bent inward as something enormous passed through them, unseen yet undeniable. The pressure in Jake's skull sharpened, filling him with heat and urgency and a terrifying sense of purpose. He understood now why the others had left their boots neatly behind, why no one had screamed. It wasn't chaos. It was clarity. Jake stepped back, fighting it. He grabbed Sam's jacket, pulling him close, forehead pressed to his friend's. For one fragile second, Sam's eyes focused. "Jake," he whispered. "Don't listen." The forest answered with a low, seismic shift. Jake shoved Sam away and ran. Branches tore at him, shadows lunged and missed by inches. Behind him, something howled, not from a mouth, but from the land itself. He didn't stop until the trees thinned and the road appeared gray and cracked and impossibly normal. By dawn, Deadfall National Park was quiet. Search teams found a tower light blinking with no one inside, radios crushed beneath stairwells, belongings scattered like offerings, boots, shirts, name tags with rust-colored stains. No bodies. The incident report cited equipment failure, stress, wildlife interference. 2 weeks later, a job posting went live. Deadfall National Park. Fire lookout positions available. Applicants must be comfortable working in isolation. Radio experience required. Somewhere deep in the forest, something tall shifted and listened. The radios waited.